Good morning, everyone. This is Dion Lyle with Fintech-5. This week on the Fintech-5, I'm going to review Accenture's recent 5 big bets in retail payments in North America report. Really excellent report, and of course, they have amazing graphics with these pool balls. The first point they make, and I think is fantastic, is the payments business. Great business. It's growing, CAGR of 6%, slowing a little bit after 2018 to 4%, as this chart shows. And you'll notice here consumer card issuing down below, bank accounts and payments up above. But overall, it's a great business to be in. However, it is shifting, as we all know. And so this is all sourced by Accenture. So what they recommend, and I think it's pretty good, is place these 5 big bets. Reinvent revenue, jettison legacy tech, run with the unicorns, hate that title, but the point is valid, spin data into gold, and treasure trust. I'm going to put some comments around these to give a little better perspective on how I see it. So one of the things they talk about, nearly 15% of retail payment revenue is at risk from card displacement. We've all seen this coming. We know it. It is what it is. The problem is it's easy to say shift your revenue sources and reinvent revenue, but it's hard to do. The reason it's hard to do is the way banks are structured. Banks have to address the organizational structure before they can address the margin squeeze or the shifting sands under their businesses. Because you can't have your debit card and your credit card teams arguing about revenue when you're structured like that. There has to be a better structure for the bank. Okay. Second big bet, couldn't agree more. Jettison legacy tech. Another one, easy to say, hard to do. You don't overnight shut off the lights on a system and expect to be a bank the next day operating, right? Number one, waterfall. Obviously, you've got to get off waterfall onto agile using APIs. That's going to require another organizational shift. You need technologists inside the bank. You need to work with technologists inside the bank. Banks love to say, we're a tech company with a bank license. Sorry, not true. I call BS on that. You have to act like a product company. You have to look at tech leaders to determine how to do that, right? And the other piece I would focus on here is the transition. You need to do parallel, legacy parallel over to the new systems. Big bet 3, and this is literally what I do for a living, run with the unicorns. I hate the term because it's not just about unicorns. It's about payment innovators. It's about fintechs doing new, clever things, better UX, better business models, all of that. So what I would say is really just engage with fintechs. Run with the unicorn sounds better. I get it. But the reality is, and they make this point very well, nobody can move as fast as an innovative part of the market. And that innovative part of the market, for those of us in Silicon Valley, New York, or wherever, is the fintechs. And they're a great opportunity. Full disclosure, this is what I do for a living, is I engage with fintechs for large banks. The caution here is you think you find a bunch of fintechs and you start engaging. Your internal processes in banks today is not geared towards this. From procurement to contract review, all of this, these processes are not set up to operate at fintech speed. You have to address that. You have to get a fast lane in order to do this properly. Big bet 4, spin data into gold. Okay, little caution here. That sounds great. They have a really nice chart here, as Accenture would. Today, data is an insight. Future, data is a product. Be very careful. The minute it becomes a product, you're going to make decisions that might not be in your customer's best interest. And I'll use Facebook as an example here. They're making very bad decisions because they look at data as a product, as a profit pool. Be careful, right? What I would recommend is that you really think about this in the sense of building a contextual dialogue with your customer. Use data appropriately. Use it as a tool to help your customer, not as a way to build up your bank. In that process, you will get revenue streams and you will get a better business. But just be careful of thinking of data as a product or a profit pool. And finally, treasure trust. Weird wording, in my opinion. But basically what they're saying is really value the trust that people put in a bank. And all the shenanigans of 2008 aside, people still trust banks. Banks are still a trusted way to move money, gain access to money, talk about money, and think about their relationship with money. Don't let that decline, right? Really protect that. And that's the point they're making with this headline, Treasure Trust. So I think if I was running a bank business, a bank payment business, I would say, I love their clothes, go big or go home. It's really important for bankers to think, how can I shift this business? Number one thing, engage outside with fintechs. Number two, shift your organizational structure. You have to shift how you do things. Anyways, that's this week's Fintech 5. I hope you've enjoyed this. I look forward to your comments. Thank you.